afternoon, guys. It's Izzy here from Izzy's Sandpit. Thanks again for tuning in on my channel. I hope you're enjoying the content, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any great content. Today, I've got Baz Mills from the rock band Massive Wagons. They're from Lancaster in the north of England. They have released 5 albums in total. Their last 2 albums, Full Nelson and House of Noise, have both reached 16 and number 9 in the UK charts, retrospectively. I hope you're going to enjoy the chat with me today. He fills me with some great info. They've just finished a tour with The Darkness. They also finished a UK tour earlier on last year, and they've got some exciting festivals they're playing this year, and also I believe they're going to the studio to record a new album. So I hope you enjoyed the chat. Thank you. Good afternoon, guys. So welcome, episode 3. I'm Izzy, and this is my Izzy's Sandpit, my YouTube channel. Today I have got Baz Mills from the rock band based in Lancaster, Massive Wagons.
There you go. Hey, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh no, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
You guys look busy this year. I've been digging away.
Yeah, we were. It was crazy, to be honest, considering the last few years we've had.
Yeah.
The second half of last year ended up being some of the busiest times we've had in recent years. We did the rescheduled headline tour, House of Noise thing, and then went to Germany, Ireland, and then the Darkness tour came up last minute.
Yeah,
in December, and it just added up. We just flipping out. We did. God, we were weeks on the road at end of last year. It was crazy.
Now, do you know what? I'm a big Darkness fan. I've been to see the Darkness 7 times, 8 times. I've lost count now. So I'm a big Darkness fan, and I just moved to Dubai when I'd done that. So I didn't get to catch you guys. And when I saw British Lion, no disrespect to Steve Harris, amazing musician, but when I saw they dropped off the tour, I was like, oh, that's a shame. And then when I saw you guys replaced, I was like, man.
I live in Dubai.
I live in Dubai, and I couldn't get back at the time. So first, so you released your album during the lockdown, The House of Noise, and you've basically you toured that last year, and then you've got another tour later on this year. You've done it with how is it with The Darkness? Fill me on that one. That's the latest thing you've done, isn't it? Really? So
I mean, they're a great bunch of guys. You know, they're a band that have been doing it for a long time, and they've got such a catalogue of songs. They're amazing songwriters and musicians. Justin's an incredible guitar player, and they were great. And every night it's just the best show. They have I don't know how he sings like that every night. He sounded amazing every night on the tour.
He's great,
to be honest. Yeah, he's a hell of a performer. Yeah, and it was they're a tough. Some bands are tough bands to go on after. They're a tough band to go on before. You know, it's everyone's waiting for them. You know,
absolutely no. But to be fair, Baz, Massive Wagons, some great albums, 5 albums. House of Noise and Full Nelson went top 10 in the UK charts. You've obviously started in 2012, which was only and you've had a nice steady incline, almost like sitting on a ski slope. One of those ski lifts, and you go to the top.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, but the only way is up for you guys. So, how did it feel to get sort of those 2 top 10 albums? For them to hit those charts and for basically people to be really interested in what you were doing.
It was amazing. It's there was a massive turning point when we signed with Earache, the label Earache, which was a massive thing for us, because suddenly a lot of doors opened. And people's experience and people who worked at Earache, and that's what catapulted things really. The press. We've not really had many serious press campaigns for albums before the Earache albums, and then when they came along, it just got it to a whole new audience really. Yeah. And gigs came through the door because of that, and those gigs in turn opened more doors, and that's just what it's all about. Is about making the most of the opportunities you get and opening more doors, and got to play Download, and that opened more doors, and it's good. And then more people get on board, and it's brilliant. And hopefully you can just keep that momentum going and keep writing good albums. And I go back to the thing you said about being on a slow incline. I love that. I want to do this I don't want to be a flash in the pan and it be
No.
over. I want to be able to do this for a long time. So the more gradual, the better. You know what I mean? That's that skill.
It's a real skill to stay, to release your first few albums, to find your feet, because you talk about bands that release a good album and then they disappear, and we've seen it before. We won't name names because it's not fair on them, and you've got some that they go even higher, and they just carry on getting bigger and bigger and maintain it. And you guys, for me, I was listening to your to all of your back catalogue recently. I only sort of listened to the first 2 albums, the new latest albums first.
Okay.
So the older stuff I wasn't as aware of, so I went and dug back, and some really good stuff, and your sound's developed. It's been very similar rock and roll, but your voice, Baz, as well, really on point, mate. As a vocalist myself, great voice and really versatile, so for me, you're doing great, guys. And I believe it's the drummer's birthday today.
Alex,
happy birthday.
47 he is.
How old is he?
47.
47?
No, not really. He's 30 today.
I know, I was going to say. He looks 47 on his photos, though.
He does look 47. Yeah.
No. So you tell me about Download Festival. What was it like to go from, to play in that arena? I know you've played arenas as well with Lynyrd Skynyrd, and that must have been enjoyable. Download.
The Download thing was it's always one of those things. It always was for us for a number of years. It's kind of the impossible thing. You genuinely never think you're gonna get to play a Download at the time, because it's so sort of cool, that we thought, might get to play some tours, support some great bands, but Download would seem to be the place that only the certain amount of bands go, And when we got to play there, you get excited about things over the years, and then the novelty doesn't wear off, but you kind of get used to it, playing stages and whatnot, and it's always good. But then when we played Download, it was like I hadn't felt like that for a long time. But I hadn't felt that excited about a gig for a lot of years before. It was amazing. It's just an amazing experience. Yeah, we played 20 minutes. The first time we played was 20 minutes, and it was just over like that. It was unbelievable.
Because 20 minutes, what, 4 songs, 5 songs? 4
or 5. No, it was about 8 songs probably. But,
oh wow!
We just cram as many in as we can. That's what we do.
Absolutely. No, and you try and talk. I mean, I'd be a crap singer to do 20 minutes, because I keep waffling on me in between songs, and the band would be going, "Shut up, we want to play some songs."
I'm the opposite. I never have anything to say. I just think, just play another song. I can't think of anything to say.
Do you know, it is funny, because I've never intentionally, especially when I played in my bands live, I never intentionally wanted to fill stuff live, but I just found myself chatting to people, especially when I played at pubs, because people would talk to you and sort of be drunk, and they would just be genuinely interested, and they'd chat away. So that is interesting to hear. And so what was it like touring in those massive arenas then, because the music that you play, I certainly think it would fit an arena, some really great big arena songs. What was that like, opening for the likes of Lynyrd Skynyrd? And
it was incredible. The first one we did was the Glasgow Hydro arena, and it's probably the biggest room I've ever been in. I've never seen anything like it. It was colossal, and I mean, it was a little bit weird, because the Skynyrd crowd, it was a seated gig, you see.
Okay.
A little bit unusual.
Was it COVID, or it wasn't COVID related?
No. It was a few years before COVID. Yeah. No, but it was just kind of their crowd. I think they just wanted seats. I don't know. It was incredible. What an experience. I mean, it was it was the first time we'd ever had to bring in like a crew, like a stage crew, because you can't just sort of turn up and plonk your stuff on stage and plug in and away you go. You've got to have a front of house guy and a monitor engineer. We had to bring our own monitors. We'd never had to do that before, and a few other things. And we needed all the help we could get, really.
Yeah,
because you don't want to look like a bunch of amateurs on a stage like that in front of
absolutely
11,000 people or whatever. So it's got to be good, and it's got to be slick. So it was a great experience. And to be honest, the only bad thing about it was it was only after 4 nights you're just getting used to it, and then it's over. So
you
don't do that many arena shows,
No, but honestly, I firmly believe that there'll be more down the road for you, mate. So I really believe that. So let's go back to the very beginning for you personally and the band. Tell me about your influences. Tell me about who inspired you as a musician from a young age. You're similar age to me, so I'm presuming you might have similar.
25.
Yeah, I'm 35 as well, so we're exactly.
Yeah, 25.
Oh, are you 25? I thought you said 35.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, my hearing's going in my old age.
Right. my influences, yeah. I mean, probably my biggest musical inspiration. It sounds a bit cheesy. It's probably my dad, to be honest, because I used to play bass guitar, and he's always played in bands in our house when I was a little kid. So he's always playing guitar and playing bass guitar, and he's the reason I joined the band, without a doubt. But I mean, my musical influences. Crikey, I used to listen to all sorts when I was a kid. Elvis, love Elvis. My mum used to listen to like 50s rock and roll stuff, which I always loved all that. Buddy Holly and Elvis and Chuck Berry and all that. Yeah. And then when I got a bit older, I kind of started listening to. I really got into rock. I remember when I was about how old I was. I got Painkiller by Judas Priest for Christmas. Yeah, and that blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And that was my introduction to sort of heavy metal, and that kind of music. And I never looked back, really, yeah. And then I was like, I get into everything. I love it all. I love all sorts of music. We're lucky, everybody in the band. We've all got such a wide range and taste in music. Country music as well is a big thing in our band. Country music, you got to listen to all sorts to write good music. I think you take inspiration from all sorts, all sorts of places. Good music, good music.
No, absolutely, and it doesn't matter the genre. I mean, you'll probably laugh. I like Spice Girls. I think they're great. I think there's
pop music's massive for a reason, isn't it? They're great hooks with great melodies and great vocals and all sorts. Yeah, why not?
Well, you talk about metal music, but for me, I always talk about Iron Maiden. And the first time I ever heard "Quick or Be Dead," that riff, I was like, mind blown. Then I'm taking all the old stuff back. I'm going to HGVs. Music Zone at the time and digging out all their old albums and Music Zone. I know there's a blast from the past. So brilliant, mate. So in terms of the band, how did it start? You've had a really stable lineup. I know that you had a couple of early lads, but this lineup's been solid throughout all 5 albums. And how did it start? School or just friends or?
Yeah, well, we started. I was in the Air Force for a while, and I came home and I didn't have anything. I didn't have much to do, so I picked up the bass guitar, learned to play the bass guitar, and started a covers band with some other guys. Right. And the guitar player left in that band. We were kind of playing like indie rock stuff, Arctic Monkeys, all that sort of rubbish. And then Adam came in. Adam came in to replace the guitar player who left. And we connected. We just had this love of like Deep Purple and all them kind of bands, the Sabbath and them 70s rock and heavy metal bands. Yeah. And anyway, that band sort of came to nothing, and we stuck together and decided we wanted to try and write some music. And he'd been jamming with a couple of other lads, Carl, the original guitar player, and Barry, the original drummer. And we just started playing covers again, covers, being a cover band. Judas Priest and Sabbath and Blackstone Cherry, Airborne, bands like that. And then we started writing and slotting these original songs into our cover set in pubs and stuff. People liked it and started to come and watch us when we were playing our own stuff. And it just kind of snowballed, really, yeah. And then it was born out of a lack of anything to do, really. We were just bored. That's amazing. We just found we loved it. Yeah. So, we got stuck in.
That's a great little story, that, Baz, because for me, some people, they from a young age, I always wanted to be in a band. I always wanted to sing in a band. So I sang in bands for years and on and off. And unfortunately, I never, from a music perspective, I never really glued with anyone. Right. So my bands have always been quite stagnated. And, as I've got older, I've, just sort of written my own songs and, done my own stuff, really. So it's nice to hear that, you guys grew. And slowly you had the covers thing and you were slotting in your own stuff. Yeah. A lot of bands do that now, and it's a great little formula. And it's good. It's good that you guys are on your way up, and other bands can see that that's still a formula for success, because we still need new bands coming through, all the time, to keep keep
grinding it out.
Absolutely, mate. No, absolutely. You're right. So from a young, so obviously you're going to see all these Judas Priest. You like those. What was your favorite gig when you were young? What was a really memorable gig that just blew your mind?
Well, to be honest, the big gig for us in our band was we went to we went to watch Airborne in Manchester at Academy One in
Right.
2008, I think, and we hadn't sort of started the band officially at that point.
Yeah.
And we just got into Airborne. I think around that time there was a few bands coming out, The Answer, Airborne, Blackstone Cherry. There was a few bands that were really sort of kicking this rock scene off again. These young guys doing the business, and they came over and we went to watch them. All of us in the band and a few of them, about 7 of us, and we just absolutely blew us away. And we were just like, right, well, yeah, we can do that. That's what we want to do. After watching that gig, that was the moment. I think
the moment, was it?
That we decided that we were going to have a go at writing some music and being in a band. Yeah, they would. Yeah, I think Airborne are just incredible live band. Yeah,
I've never seen Airborne. I've seen Blackstone Cherry. I've seen them 3 or 4 times, and I can remember when the first album came out. You know, and they've got that song "Big Train." You know, Big Train.
Yeah. Amazing band. I've seen them again. We saw them a couple of times around the same time.
Yeah,
we were massive lovers of both of those bands, and they both played a big part in why we're in a band anyway.
Awesome. So, if you could support another one of those rock and roll bands, who would you line up a tour with? If you could do a co-host, like a co-headline tour, you know, who would you pick?
It would. I mean, Volbeat, I've always thought would be a great band to go into.
Oh, I went to see them a couple of years ago. Danko Jones.
Right, yeah.
Right. They were really good. Volbeat were brilliant. Danko Jones were just as good, though, I've got to say.
Really, they're great. Danko's great, isn't he? Yeah. Volbeat Airborne would be amazing. I mean, yeah, crikey. Any amount of bands, really. The Darkness was a big one.
Honestly, yeah. I was so gutted to miss it when you guys popped up, and I was like, but I'll hopefully try and get to the gigs later on in the year, you know. So, right. So, Baz, tell me a bit about your hobbies, mate. Do you have any hobbies now? Do you like football? Anything we can dive?
I've never really been to football, to be quite honest with you. No? I don't know why. It's kind of always passed me by. I mean, I spend a lot of time doing band stuff like that.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years, it's just been like every waking moment. If you're not, it's kind of not like a 9-to-5 job. It's kind of a job that requires all your time. You're always sort of thinking about it, or practicing singing, or writing bloody songs or something. But I like my motorbike. I ride a motorbike. That's a
do you?
hobby.
Yeah. What motorbike do you have?
I have a couple of old motorbikes. I have a Suzuki GS650, and I have a Norton 500 thing.
Oh wow, a classic.
Which is cool. I only take them out in summer. I don't go riding around in the rain.
My dad was a summer rider. My dad's always rode motorbikes all his life, and he stopped when he got older because the road. He always thought the roads were quite dangerous as he got older.
Yeah.
He's a bit nuts. You should see the driving out here. You know, if you indicate, they speed up to stop you from getting in. It's crazy. You know, it's
when I was in the RAF, I did 4 months in Saudi. So I was a driver. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Absolute maniac.
How did you find that in Saudi Arabia?
Crazy. It was I got sent there just after 9/11. So it was quite scary, really. I was supposed to go then. It was a great detachment, but then 9/11 happened, and it all got a bit tense. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
It was good. It was hot. Hottest place I've ever been. Anyway.
When did you go? What time of year was it?
I actually went at Christmas, so it was a bit cooler. It was cooling down, but it was still ridiculous. Like, I think I went over December. Yeah, I was there for Christmas.
My fiance's lived here for 2 years, and she said you go out and it's like 50 degrees. And I mean,
yeah.
You go out.
You're drinking so much water, aren't you? Yeah. Every day.
Well, you've got to keep yourself hydrated. So, Baz, this is like my fun question section. I mix up the questions a bit, but I always start off with the one. And with you being Northern, I hope you don't let the team down, mate.
Is it about pies?
It's not pies. It's not pies. It's the accoutrement to pies. Do you have gravy or curry on chips?
Gravy.
Gravy. That's 3 votes for gravy, you know.
I do like both. I don't mind a bit of curry sauce in the chip shop. That's all right, but I like chips and gravy. It's not lovely, yeah.
Half rice, half chips, curry sauce from the Chinese. I used to live opposite Chinese. Oh, mate, it was incredible. So, for breakfast, crumpets or Scotch pancakes?
Crumpets.
Oh, no. Unbelievable.
No?
Yeah, no, crumpets. The one thing, the British thing, I order them, and they're like £3 a pack over here, and I'm like, I don't care. I'll pay it. We'll pay £3.
Good man.
Mate, I'm getting them in there. You're having a dinner party for 4 people, including yourself. Who are you inviting over, dead or alive?
Definitely alive.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh,
That's great, that, mate.
who am I inviting? Oh, I don't know. Elvis, he'd have to come, wouldn't he?
All right, okay.
Elvis, I reckon. Elvis. Fucking hell, who else would have? Oh, this is a bloody tough one. I'd have to have. I don't know. You've stuck me. I hate these questions. I'm terrible. I take them really seriously. Elvis. We'd have Lemmy over as well.
Lemmy. That'd be a great party up to now. Elvis, Lemmy.
Elvis. Oh yeah, it would be a good party, wouldn't it? Elvis, Lemmy, and who else? Keith Moon.
Oh wow! What a collection! Yeah. What are you cooking?
I'd be in bed after about 3 hours.
Yeah. What are you cooking?
What am I cooking?
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Hot dogs and beer.
Hot dogs and beer. Mustard, onions. Yeah. Who doesn't like hot dogs and beer? Eh?
I'll have to invite myself to that party because that sounds great.
You're more than welcome. Mate, absolutely. I'll get a chair out.
That's fantastic. And the last question is: you're stranded on a desert island for a month. Who are you taking with you? It can't be any of the people you invited to your party, though. So I can't go.
Who am I taking with me?
Who are you taking with you? How long am I there for? On a desert island for a month.
A month? Well, Bear Grylls would be a good one, wouldn't he? If I was to
oh no!
If I was to go,
I think it'd be irritating, mate. Shut up!
You think so?
I don't care about lighting that fire. I'd rather struggle.
A month. I'd take Terry Mailer off.
Oh yes! What an answer!
Smooth that, wasn't it? That was smooth,
brilliant, mate. That's a cook.
He's a rubbish cook.
No food. You're going to be eating berries and getting chased around by weird animals.
Oh, maybe I should take someone fat then. If there's no food, then I can.
No, do you know that's a good one? Tell me an interesting fact, a fun fact of something that's happened on tour, a memorable little story.
Oh, crikey! Well, some of them can't be repeated. I've got to be honest.
Yes, that's right. We'll pick a PG-12 one.
There's always a funny story from back in the day. We used to have a van, a little red transit van. And we played this pub, and we used to get all our gear in this van. It was rammed from front to top, both sides. It was rammed full. You could hardly get the doors shut. It was that full of crap, PA and whatnot. So we played this little pub, and then we're driving away at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and everyone's outside the pub going like this, hey, going like, way, cheering and waving. We're hanging out the van going, yeah, they loved it. Woo, yeah, they loved us. Brilliant. What a brilliant gig. Anyway, we're driving about 20 miles. We get back to the motorway, and we get on the motorway, and then all these wagons start flashing their lights, and cars are all flashing their lights. Wow, flashing. We're going, what's going on? So we pulled onto the hard shoulder. We'd driven 25 miles with the back doors of the van wide open.
And nothing fell out?
Nothing had fell out. They had guitars in there, slid on the top of the cabs. There was amp heads, cabs, pedal boards, the lot. It was that tightly wedged in. We must have driven 20 odd miles with these back doors flapping like that, wide open. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. We must have lost thousands of pounds worth of gear. Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's
a close one.
That's a great little story, that, because I had some funny ones myself, but I won't tell them. This is about me all the time. Then the final thing I was going to say is I wanted to save this till the end, and I googled how the name of the band come up, Massive Wagons, and it's not about HGV. So for the listeners and the watchers,
it depends who you ask.
HGV trucks. Is it true then?
Could be true. It could be true. You'll have to. I can either deny or confirm it.
Oh, I like that. Is it one of those that you have to kill me if you tell me?
Well, yeah. Well, what good would that do?
No,
you'd still be able to come to my party though, because you'd be dead. So
no, absolutely, exactly. Yeah, you can pick up. So, right, Baz, mate, thanks for spending some time with me. Thanks for coming on.
No worries at all. Appreciate
it, mate. Good luck for the rest of the year. Good luck with the music, and there's not going to be another album yet, is there? Seeing as you've only just released.
Well, we're recording next week. Actually, we're actually going for a month. Yeah, so it'll be out like later next year, probably. Around that time.
You need to give it some time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got.
You've got a tour at the end of the year, correct?
At the end of this year.
Yeah, at the end of this year.
Probably. Nothing announced yet. We're playing Download, playing a few festivals. Sound Festival in Wales. We're playing Grass Pop in Belgium.
Grass Pop, yeah. So what I meant is you're doing some festivals in the summer, not at all.
Yeah, we've got festival season's pretty busy, like
Okay,
that's always good. Yeah.
Well,
great.
Hopefully I will catch you guys at some point this year, and I will. I'll drop you a message, and we'll have a pint after the gig.
Absolutely, no worries.
That's a pleasure. Thanks for coming on Izzy Sandpit, mate. Have a great day, and I will. I'll see you soon.
Wicked. Cheers, Dan. Thank you very much, mate.
Bye.
Bye now.